Boker Tov. We're going to get started in a minute. Wow, got quiet quick. Thank you. Boker Tov all. Good morning. My name is Eric Albert, current board member, past president of Jewish Federation. I have the honor of being I don't know what I am today, but managing the annual meeting and the beginning of the campaign kickoff. Before we start, just in advance, I'd like to thank the Federation staff and the board for all their work in putting this morning together. This is a great success to see so many people here. So thank you all for coming. To get things started, it's my honor to introduce Rabbi Polikoff, who will give today's Devar Torah.
Thank you. Good morning. It's most appropriate that we begin today with a short Devar Torah, a short word of Torah. Since our dawn as a people, it has been our encounter with the Torah that has guided our collective Jewish consciousness. Moreover, engagement with Torah is not the exclusive province of some small elite. The text does not say, safeguard and keep these writings stashed away, solely bequeathed to your privileged few. Rather, the message of Torah can be found in the stirring words that open this week's double portion, Nitzavim Vayelech. You stand this day, all of you, before Adonai your God, the heads of your tribes, elders, officers, all people of Israel, your little ones, wives, and the stranger in your camp, from the hewer of your wood to the drawer of your water. Notable footnote, this was one of our new Federation director's bar mitzvah portions. He will agree that verse denotes a unity of Israel and equality before God. Our sages understood the clause, the heads of your tribes, elders, officers, everyone in Israel, to stress our fundamental equality. They teach God is explaining, even though I appointed over you heads, elders, and officers, all of you are equal before me, as the verse concludes, all are people of Israel. Standing on the cusp of a new year, this event brings together from across the region and celebrates area leaders and movers and shakers, as it were our machers and our mavens and their dear ones. Those who will soon take such roles, and also just plain folk. This morning, all of us celebrate a federation under dedicated leadership stewarding a process of revitalization, and how Federation inclusively gathers a community holding a spectrum of Jewish visions. After the business section, where we acknowledge those whom have so selflessly steered and uphold Federation, many of our constituent organizations will kvel with pride as the contributions of our own constituent machers are recognized. All told, may we find in this encounter, as in the study of Torah, more than a pro forma ritual, but rather a sacred legacy and an ongoing responsibility. Ken Yehi Ratzon, be this God's will.
Rabbi, thank you. Very apropos. Appreciate that. What we're going to do is we're going to start the program with our Federation annual meeting, fairly painless, and then we'll get to the good stuff, which is the honorees and our campaign kickoff. I have reviewed the attendance, and we have a quorum present, and we can conduct the meeting and business of the Federation. The minutes and the Board of Directors were on the table up front for anybody in case you didn't see them. So first, I would like to seek approval of the minutes of the 2023 meeting. We have a motion. Roy, and a second. Matt, all in favor? Okay, any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, thank you. Easy, carries. Now I'd like to make a presentation of the slate of officers and directors. We can vote on this as one item. The list of officers, I'll just go through quickly so that you all have them. President, Pauline Zimmerman. First Vice President, Roy Walzer. Treasurer, Matt Magida. Directors, myself, Rachel Albert, Chaim Gewurtzman, and Lisa Miller. Do I have a motion to accept the Board of Directors as proposed? Anybody? Joanna? Matt, you second. Dan? Okay. A second? Any seconds? Okay, Lisa, thank you. Any discussion before we vote? Anybody who would like to join our board? We probably could find a room for you. But in all seriousness, I think this is a incredibly dedicated slate of officers, people who believe in the community, care deeply about the community, and want to see the community thrive. But please, please, if you know of somebody who would like to join the board or to get involved in any committees, that would be wonderful. So with all that being said, I'd like to vote, if there's no more further discussion, on approving the slate of officers. All in favor? Abstentions? Or, okay, any other comments? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Roy Walzer, who is the chair and does an amazing job as a chair of the Federation Foundation and the Grants Committee. Will give us highlights of the past year. Roy?
Thank you, Eric. Is this all right? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you all for coming. This is a great turnout from what sometimes is not a very well-attended annual meeting. I'd just like to say a few words about grant making and what we've done this past year. The grant making is one of our primary activities, one of your primary activities as members of the Federation. And the Grants Committee and the Board of Directors has established areas of concentration, which we like to support throughout the year. Those are consistent with citizenship and core Jewish values and our mission statement, which is all wrapped up in the same set of goals. So our primary areas of concentration, both in our catchment area, which is quite large for a federation geographically, and also for Israel, are the following. Religious schools, Jewish religious schools, Jewish campership, so youth support of youth and children in need of counseling and guidance. Dental care is a special one, which is separately endowed for Israel. And we've made this year a couple of emergency grants considering the war status that Israel is on. Our total grant making for this past fiscal years has been over $320,000. We think that that's not well enough known, and we're trying to post the grants made and the amounts, and show you that your federation is acting in support of our values, our core values. In addition, we support food insecurity, sexual assault and domestic violence, medical support where bills and counseling are inadequate. We have grants for college scholarships, for study in Israel, and for emergency homelessness. Those are our core and repeated areas of concentration. I think I would like to open it up for any questions and see if I can elaborate on anything that needs explication. So anyone? No? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, one more thing. Two more things. The work of the committee is supported by our administrative assistant, Pam Perkins, and our CFO, Tom Harris. And without them and the collation and processing of the grants, we could not function. The committee is very hardworking. I'm happy to be a part of it, but they are essential. Thank you.
Roy, thank you. I think it should just be known that Roy has put in extraordinary amount of effort and time into running the foundation and making sure that we're making all the grants that we are honored to be able to make, and that it's doing it professionally and consistently with all the demands and requests of the donors of the funds, and also at the behest and of the foundation and anybody applying for grants. I mean, it's really amazing. We are blessed here in this community to have a very significant foundation. And please, not only if there are special needs to apply, and Roy is correct, we want to get the word out, but also I will make the pitch, since it is sort of the top of the campaign. It's not really my job, but it is our job, that if you find it in your heart and know the kind of good works that we do, have a specific interest in the Jewish community that you'd like to support, or to support the community in general for the long term, please consider putting the foundation in your estate plans. It's really important, and that will ensure the longevity and the success and thriving of our community. So thank you. It's now, and Roy, thanks again. And it's now my pleasure to introduce our new executive director, Rabbi Paul Resnick. For those of you who did not see on the annual campaign, I'll just read quickly. It's been an honor. It's been a short amount of time, but Paul has jumped right into what we need to do to make this a successful and growing and thriving community. We're so glad to have him on board. He spent his entire career in professional and volunteer in Jewish nonprofits, and we are really, really grateful and honored to have him here. So I'll just let Paul get right into it and give him a little bit of his history. Thank you.
So I measured that applause, and I want to see if the applause at the end is going to be louder or not. We'll know whether the speech was effective. So this is something that I picked up on Friday at probably the 10th rally. My wife and I went into the city on a Friday morning. This was in front of the United Nations, a body that has done nothing at all to help the cause of Israel and the refugees there, along with the Red Cross, etc., but that's a different topic. But I will share one story with you that was very, very powerful. Amazing speakers they had there, all kinds of political people. The speech that really touched our hearts the most was by Aviva Siegel. I don't know if the name Keith Siegel means anything to anybody. So Keith is one of the 7 Americans still held hostage, though most of them have been killed, but their bodies are somewhere in Gaza. So Aviva was also held hostage until November with her husband, as she says, laying on a filthy, dirty mattress, many feet below sunshine, below fresh air. And at the beginning of the captivity, her husband kept saying, "I cannot breathe." And she kept saying, "Honey, you have to be able to breathe. Close your eyes, lie down on this disgusting mattress." She witnessed women being raped and tortured in unbelievable ways that she could not speak about. She witnessed her own husband tortured day after day, night after night. She begged the Kadosh Baruch Hu, she begged God to be killed so that she wouldn't see her husband being killed. And then for some strange reason, she was let free, her husband still there. The fact that she got up in front of this crowd of maybe 1,000 or more in New York and was able to speak even more coherently and with greater strength than I is a great credit to her. And may we all pray every day, hoping that every hostage, including 7 Americans, will be freed. So by the time we gather here in 2 weeks on October 6th, we won't be talking about hostages anymore. Unabashed plug, October 6th, 5 p.m. I hope to see everybody here, and I hope to see even a larger crowd gaining chizuk, gaining strength from fellow Jews and other members of other faiths that are invited to join us. I hope to see you there. So I want to thank our program chair, Lisa Miller, and Rachel Albert for her wise input in today's event and for being our photographer. And as was already done, the team here in the office of Tom and Kathy, but really, I don't know if Pam's here or she's still out there. Pam did a yeoman's job, working extra hours, putting this program together from A to Z, and it would not happen if she was not here and helping out and willing to do more. So on the way out, give her a little hakarat hatov, a little like, thanks for doing your job. So today I want to speak about 3 topics. One, a little bit about me, a Bronx boy originally. Any other people here from the Bronx? Okay, wow, we're really in the minority. Yankees fan? Any Yankees fan in Boston territory? Oh, okay, a little more. Great. And how I got to be here. Number 2, what I've learned from meeting almost 80 people in 80 days. Take that number, almost 80 people in 80 days. 3, some of my own hopes and aspirations to strengthen this already strong and good federation. Because if we don't dream, we're not going to succeed in anything. And if we dream and we fail, that's okay. We'll figure it out and we'll move on. So, born in the Bronx, raised on Long Island, went to Binghamton, lived in Riverdale, moved to Teaneck 30 years ago. We have 3 children. They're all married, thank God. All married to Jews, thank God. We have a few grandchildren. Any grandparents out there? Okay, so you really know how amazing and wonderful that part of life is. And if not yet, at its proper time, may it come to you as well. So life is very, very good for me. I did Ramah in the Berkshires for 32 years. Any camp people out there? Any camp? Okay. So camp people are not necessarily better than non-camp people. Just know that, but camp people are really wonderful people. And I did some pulpits for 4 years, and then I decided I loved my wife and my shul too much that I wanted to be home for Shabbos and Yontif in Teaneck at our wonderful, great shul, where I also serve on the board. And I started looking for a job, and somehow someone made a connection with somebody from JFNA who made a connection with me with Debbie Stein, who's a real tzaddiket and really an amazing human being, and really brought me to this community and introduced me to the leadership here. A few weeks later, I started working. First, we went to Israel for 2 weeks, and I started working here on July 2nd. So as a Jewish professional, my entire life, right, work-wise, I know about Jewish federations, but I also know how to lead, inspire a team, work with the board, being a board member myself, and I know how to build community. It doesn't really matter if the community are 12-year-old campers in summer camp or shul minyan goers on a Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. or at Federation. It's all about building a vibrant community that people want to wave the flag and say and stand up proudly, I am part of JFed Western Connecticut. That's my ultimate goal today, tomorrow, and for the years to come. So my point two is what I've learned from these different conversations on my learning and listening tour. Some of you I've already met. Some of you I have not met. My goal is at some point to meet all of you, not just like, oh, hello, how are you? Welcome to the community, but actually have a conversation with you. My car knows how to drive around, though I'm still like navigating 84, and what a magical road that is, because whatever time it says it will take you X number of minutes to Y place, it's wrong. Whether it's 8 a.m. or 4 in the afternoon, it doesn't matter. So God bless Route 84. So here are the issues which I have heard about, in no order of importance, in no groupings. We've heard about the Israel crisis, anti-Semitism in Connecticut, a newly arrived dad with a baby to the oldest donor to Federation, from meeting seniors here in this room at Love and Knishes to trying to figure out how to partner with PJ Library to connect with parents of our very youngest, to getting an email my first week here saying, Rabbi, how do you serve the hard of hearing deaf community here in Connecticut? How did we react to the murders of the 6 hostages? How do we offer our support that was spoken about by Roy to the local community? How did we react after the flooding? How do we manage our funds even better? How do we distribute even more dollars to more places to help fulfill our mission? How do we define the Jewish Federation with such a diverse community in terms of knowledge, observance, connectedness? There are 9 towns represented in this room today. One might think, working for this federation, that there's Southbury, Woodbury, Watertown, but there are 9 different communities here, which is really wonderful to see. A few people have told me that once upon a time in Jewish Federation's history, the Federation leadership decided X, and this group of people felt it was a wrong decision, and they're still pained by that. In a nice way, I tried to say, you need to get over that. You need to take that pain, put it somewhere in your body, let it exist, but need to think about today and tomorrow, and just let the past inform us of today and tomorrow. But welcome back to the community. We want you here. They're not here, those few people, but we're going to work on that. I met with one grandma who's doing grandma daycare in Bethel. She said it was the first time that Federation ever reached out to her, hung out with her as she was playing with her 2-year-old baby. A synagogue president, not here at B'nai Israel, is concerned that their synagogue, and not in Waterbury either, might not survive in 3 years. And there was amazing appreciation expressed by the various social service agencies I had the privilege to visit. I felt like I was being treated like a king because they really appreciate what the Jewish Federation does for their cause. And let me conclude with a very quick story. We gave a $250 gift to an organization here in Southbury that helps place refugees. The person came, we took a picture, it was in the email on Friday, and I apologized for it not being even more. She said, no, this is great, every dollar counts. And what I shared with her was redeeming refugees and helping settle people is a core Jewish value. It's in our neshama, it's in our soul of helping people. And the fact that for many people of my generation, we're only 2 generations away from being refugees ourselves. Jews get the point. So here goes. Some dreams and aspirations, and I preface these dreams and aspirations with 2 things. One, no one get nervous, but I have not shared this with the board. 2, not yet. 2, some of these will not happen. But if you don't dream, then I don't think we're going to get anywhere. So here goes. We continue providing a safe and secure environment. Michael is here in the back, who is our consultant from the Secure Community Network. And this is something that's paramount to our sustainability and longevity. We continue to support causes that fight anti-Semitism that is on every college campus, that is in so many communities. Though I had an inspiring, amazing talk with the with the Hillel director, Edina, at UConn, who told me 2 great stories. One, she sees more Jews wearing a Magen David or a Chai necklace out above their shirt than ever before. And 2, her student board decided that the annual giveaway t-shirt that usually says UConn, Connecticut, will say UConn, Connecticut in Hebrew, stating loud and proud that they are Jews with Hebrew now on the t-shirts that they give away. That brings me some inspiration. We need to continue to be engaged. Perhaps set a periodic reading time for our youngest kids with their parents. Perhaps start a periodic yoga session for parents, older parents, maybe for people who are now newly found each other because their kids are all off in school. Israel needs to remain a major focus. I was a little surprised that we have not had an Israel trip as a federation. I know all kinds of different reasons why. Good, we need to move on and think about the future if in a year or 2 or 3 is something we want to put on our agenda. Let me know if you might be interested. Again, not today, not a top priority yet. We need to create an inter-synagogue, inter-community Israel board. There's a great IAC at B'nai Israel, but we need to bring all synagogues together in a common cause called the love of the state of Israel, supporting the state of Israel. And that would be a great thing to be involved with and move forward. Perhaps we can start a monthly Israeli film or discussion, or just create a safe space for people to come and kind of just say what's on their minds vis-a-vis the terrible news we hear from Israel. We need to remain warm and welcoming. Despite the security we have here now, that's only going to get more intense over the years, we need to create spaces that are welcoming. Maybe have a Hanukkah party. Maybe do a communal watching of the Super Bowl, a Purim party. Maybe create a weekly drop-in time with a potluck lunch just to be with fellow Jews to talk together. We need to keep education as a key focus, key goal of Federation. Do we want to start a lecture series? We do the love and knishes, which, by the way, there's never knishes there, which I also don't understand, but a lot of love in the room. One day I'll bring knishes up from Teaneck, I guess. Start a monthly series of lectures about different Jewish topics, either here or elsewhere where there might be clusters of Jews. Speaking of education, to me, one of the best places to be educated is in a summer camp. We know from Roy that we provide over $100,000 in summer camperships. I want to try to expand that and perhaps align ourselves with the Reform Movement camp and the Conservative Movement camp and get people to summer Jewish camps. We need to always care at the core of what we do. Spread what we do into all kinds of needs and communities. We need to collaborate more. There are 7 federations in this little state of Connecticut. When I said that to somebody 2 weeks ago, they said, yeah, Paul, there used to be 9. Okay? Do they all collaborate? Not yet. It's on our agenda. Hopefully they will start collaborating so we can do some more impactful program by having more people sitting around the table. But also collaborating even with people from other faith communities. Rabbi Polikoff invited me, and I think I'm now part of the group, for a interfaith council here in Southbury and Waterbury, which Rabbi Polikoff chairs. And just being around the table with people who are doing the same work we're doing, but from different faith communities, was really inspiring. 3 final short comments. 1, we need to increase our annual drive, which Pauline will talk about a little later. But what is most important to me is that I need you. We can't do these programs with a program committee, as great as it is. Lisa, where are you, Lisa? Lisa is chair and occupier of the committee. We need some more people. You don't have to volunteer to be on the board. You don't have to volunteer to come 10 meetings a year. You don't have to volunteer to give lots of money. All those things would be nice, by the way. But I want you to volunteer for a program. Help out on something that tickles your fancy. My card is on every table. My job is, after today, to hopefully get 10, 15, 20 emails of people saying, I have an idea, I want to meet you. If you have a great idea and it works within our framework, we want it to happen. So I conclude with the following thought. I'm really excited about my job. I feel like I've been here far longer than 80 days. I feel privileged to be the professional leader of this community. Hayom katzar v'hamlacha merubah. The day is short, right? And the work is long, and we are not free to not do anything to help bring more success to this already strong Jewish Federation. Work with me, work with the incredible leadership. It's a small group of leadership, but they work so hard and so many hours, I don't know how they live the rest of their lives. Can we maybe just give them a little round of applause? And I will be here walking around, hanging out afterwards, and I hope to meet some of you who I have not already met. Have a great morning.
Paul, thank you very much. Inspiring, and I do know he means what he says, so please, ideas, make an effort to get to meet him, and we are on our way, which is great. I'd like to now conclude the annual meeting. We have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? You want to keep going? Roy again, thank you. Any discussion? I'd like to vote to close the annual meeting, and then we'll begin the second part of our program. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Abstentions? Okay, annual meeting is closed. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Pauline Zimmerman to talk for a moment about our campaign. But before, I really want to thank Pauline for her extraordinary effort, the kind of effort Paul was talking about. Really, I don't think anybody has done the amount of work that Pauline has done over the last few years to sort of steer our ship in the right direction and keep us going. So, Pauline, I can't thank you enough. Honored to work with you, and please, you're on. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. For some reason, somehow, I always follow the most dynamic speaker. Not you, Eric. Paul. So this is my lot in life. Thank you again. It's such a pleasure to see so many communities represented, such great support. I'm here to introduce the annual campaign kickoff. This is the first time we've combined the two events, so hopefully we'll get some positive feedback. I'm thrilled that you got to meet Paul. He has hit the ground running. We've all had such positive interactions, experiences. He's trying to go to every community, and he keeps putting it out there. Call me, text me, meet with me. And he's serious. He will go wherever you are to meet you. Having just finished our annual meeting, I'd like to thank all of our board members. Eric Albert, over here. Rachel Albert in the back there. Chaim Gewurtzman right there. Lisa Miller, I'm not sure where Lisa is. There she is. Matt Magida and Roy Walzer. Thank you all. It's such a pleasure. I laugh every time I say to Roy, you must not have caller ID because you keep picking up. So thank you for everything, everybody. And our Federation staff, which Paul did mention, Tom Harris, our financial officer, Kathy Conti for programming, and Pamela Perkins, our administrative assistant. We are now going to shortly proceed to the Sylvia and Burton Albert Habanim Awards. These are presented yearly to people who have shown a keen interest in our community and an amazing sense of effort towards their Jewish community. At this point, I'd like to personally congratulate all of you. I'm really proud for everyone who's been recognized. As you know, the annual campaign serves so many, both locally and internationally, and Roy really did touch on a lot of that. Our campaign goal, according to Matt, is $150,000. According to Pauline, it's a lot higher, and I say that tongue-in-cheek. The only way we can do what we do is through your kind and generous donations. And I know Paul is trying to reach out to everyone, and if you can increase it at all this year, we would be so grateful. If it's a 2% increase, a 5%, whatever, because as you heard from Roy, so many people benefit. People in this town, people in all the towns we support, and people who we may not even have a relationship with, but we do now because of them coming forward through the grants process. So thank you all for that. To many, while this may seem lofty, compared to previous years, it's really not. The only way we can achieve this is through your generosity. We are, unfortunately, all acutely aware of the situations that are ongoing in Israel and here in our backyards, in our colleges, in our communities. We tend to walk with our eyes wider, more widely opened, with our ears paying more attention to what we have going on around us. When we would walk before, whether in Manhattan or in Woodbury, it's just not at the level that it's at now. So for all of those who want to hold us up, and there are those who want to knock us down, the only way we can combat the latter is to be able to help provide the funds to keep things moving forward. I want to thank everyone for their continued support. There's a lot of people who are not in the room that should be thanked also. And if you're able, like I said previously, to increase your donation, please help us out. And it goes a long way to enable the Federation to continue their mission. I want to thank you all again very much. And now I'm really happy to introduce Burton and Sylvia's son, Eric, to present the Habanim Awards. And I'd also like to say thank you also to Jonathan, Eric's brother. Thank you both so much. Your parents were amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline. It's my honor to introduce this year's Sylvia and Bert Albert Habonim honorees. I don't want to be too long here, but Habonim means builder in Hebrew. And for as long as I can remember, that was my parents' commitment to our Jewish community. That was through Jewish Federation, through the synagogue, through the temple, through the overall secular community. It really was about building a better place for Jews to live, but also for everybody to live. And I am hopeful that, first of all, I'm honored that the Federation came about to honor this, honor my parents, and so from my brother and sister and all our spouses, I want to thank the Federation for that. When I thought about the history of what it meant to be a builder in the community, I go way back, and I'm sure it goes much farther back, but I remember we built the Jewish Community Center in Waterbury in the 70s, and it was a great place to grow up. Unfortunately, the community wasn't big enough and strong enough to sustain it. However, you know, one door closes, another door opens, and what happened was the money that the Jewish Federation received for the sale of that building became the real foundation and basis for what is now a really significant endowment and foundation, and that has allowed us to do amazing things. So I would also say that their foresight and vision for this campus, I know it was, again, a dream of a number of families here, including my dad and our family, that we have a campus here for people to come to, and that vision, just like Paul was talking about, that dream became a reality. And so if you don't dream, it definitely won't happen. And I also want to mention that was so important to my parents was their love for Israel and what that meant for them and their family. And I feel more than blessed to say that I think we all, that sort of just trickled into our beings as well. So they represented, always represented those important values, and I know it was one of my dad's favorite sayings, which we all believe in, Am Yisrael Chai, and so again, today is, it's my honor to bring up, we're going to turn around the schedule first to bring up Patty Berkowitz and Rabbi Polikoff to give the Habonim Award to Michelle Rosen.
So, 2016, 2021, and now 2024. Michelle Rosen arrived in our community in 2013, quickly proving herself an active member and tireless leader. 3 short years later, she received our President's Award as Volunteer of the Year. That was followed again by being recognized in 2021 as our Volunteer of the Year, and now our delight in her now receiving the Bert and Sylvia Albert Habonim Builder Award under the auspices of Federation. What remains constant is Michelle's steadfast dedication to our congregation and its sisterhood, our local community and our town, and the women of Reform Judaism. Michelle's currently the president of the B'nai Israel Sisterhood, a vice president of the Women of Reform Judaism's Northeast District, and a past trustee of B'nai Israel of Southbury. Getting her here today required some juggling, as she's also running today to oversee Southbury's own volunteer appreciation effort, and then to a regional sisterhood event. Michelle organizes our local Judaica shop and our Yisker book on behalf of our Memorials and Dedications Committee. She serves on the Ritual Committee and possesses an incredible memory. On Shabbat morning, she might be making sure our Torah Study Zoom feed is accessible to the more homebound. She's creative, thoughtful, and an expert programmer. She cares deeply for the Jewish people every day and actualizes that commitment irrespective of the year or accolade. Patty Berkowitz, our president, along with our executive committee and our board, our entire congregation, congratulate Michelle on this specific recognition. You see, as a longtime area synagogue leader, like many of us, Michelle knew Sylvia and Bert. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be for blessing. As such, she appreciates their roles, their special roles, in building and shaping the institutions of area Jewry, including the Federation, B'nai Israel, and this shared campus. They were exemplary in their generosity, devotion, warmth, and conviction. Michelle, in linking your name to theirs, may you too journey from strength to strength, aware of your own skills and success as a builder and shaper. Mazel tov.
This is for you. Take a picture.
Michelle, mazel tov. Well deserved. It's now my honor to bring up Lisa Miller, who executive board member of our federation, to give the Tabonim Award to Moshe Bree.
The word Habanim means the builders, and Moshe Bree has truly been that in Waterbury and is therefore most deserving of the Habanim Award. Moshe came to Waterbury originally to attend the yeshiva a number of years ago. He makes his career today as a filmmaker for Ingenious Productions. He travels the country creating videos for schools all over to help promote them. Each year, he has given his time to videotape students for the annual fundraising dinners for both Yeshiva Katana as well as Yeshiva Atera Shmuel. Last year, realizing a need, Moshe founded a new boys' high school, Misfita B'nai Torah of Waterbury, with 11 students. This year, that has grown to 23 students in grades 9, 10, and 11. That is truly the essence of Habanim. Moshe Bree makes his home in Waterbury with his wife and 6 children. His commitment to building the Jewish community is evident and admirable. I'd like to present the award to Moshe Bree.
Thank you very much. That was very meaningful.
Lisa, stay up.
For a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you, Rabbi Resnick, and thank you to all of you at the Federation for this award recognizing the work of the Waterbury Community Mesivta. As Lisa mentioned, I came here as a student around 20 years ago, and I have many fond memories of being in this room, both single, just coming to a Havdalah ceremony and other events, and my wife reminded me as we were driving up the driveway of coming here with our children for different events for children over the past couple of years, and they're definitely a big part of our time and history in the broader community over here. We had a problem, maybe a crisis, if you will. For many years, the boys of our community would graduate elementary school with a very solid education, a strong sense of the Jewish identity and pride, and most importantly, a strong desire to be the next link in the chain of Jewish continuity. However, there were no local Jewish high schools around for them to attend, and most of them were forced to attend random schools around the country. So you'd have 13, 14-year-old boys flying off to cities like Rochester, St. Louis, Minnesota, South Bend, Indiana. I'm not making these up. These are literally the cities, and they would have to just go there to school, obviously putting a large financial and logistical strain on them and their families. So about 2.5 years ago, a group of parents got together, and we said, it's time for us to have a school here for our children where they can continue their Jewish education, reinforce their Jewish identity, and become the next generation of Jewish leaders while benefiting from the warmth and comfort of their very own home. So after many hours of hard work and toil and the support of the community and the support from the Federation, the Waterbury Community Masifta was born. And I'd like to acknowledge actually our principal, who's standing there in the back modestly, Rabbi Martin, who moved from New York, from the Lower East Side, where he was a principal for many years, and has done tremendous work so far in building the school. And as Lisa mentioned, when we first started, we had hoped to open small, 4 boys, 5 boys. We'll start small, see where it goes. 6 would have been a huge success. And by the time registration closed, we had 8 boys registered, which was beyond. But it got even better than that, because by the time we actually opened the first year, we had 11 boys. 3 more boys joined, including 2 boys who actually weren't in a Jewish elementary school. One was being homeschooled, and another one was in a public school, but they wanted a good Jewish education. And when they heard about what we were doing, they joined us and became part of our family. We had a beautiful year last year. We had some growing pains, but we overcame every hurdle and grew stronger by the day. And this year, as Lisa said, we doubled, more than doubled, to 23 boys. We had to move to a new location to accommodate the growth. And we have big plans for the future. And myself and the students and the parents, some of them who are here today, thank you for your support and your partnership in this endeavor. I also wanted to congratulate all of you at the Federation for your amazing hire with Rabbi Resnick. In my professional life, I meet with executive directors every day across the country in different kinds of organizations, and it was so refreshing to meet him about 2 months ago, to see someone who's so wise, yet so humble, and clearly driven to help and make a difference. And that is obviously the mission of the Federation as well. That's the mission of our school, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future to build the next generation of Jewish leaders here in Connecticut and across the world. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Moshe Mazel Tov. We are going to change things up again. We have a little computer glitch, so we are going to bring up David Levi Yudkin to present the Habonim Award to David Schleifer.
All right, good morning. Keep it short, don't want to bore you guys. You guys must have many speeches today. Most of you don't know me. I am part of the Waterbury community, and we've been very fortunate to have the Jewish Federation be part of our general organizations. Most of the organizations in our community have benefited from the Jewish Federation, and I'd like to publicly thank everybody here on behalf of the Waterbury Jewish community as well. Some of you are familiar with our shul, B'nai Shalom. I've been blessed to be on the board of the shul. About a year ago, one of our esteemed members of the shul lost a parent. Actually, right before October 7th, and came over to me shortly afterwards and said, I had a great idea. Me and my mom were thinking, my dad passed, and he had a beautiful library. And we were thinking of giving it over to the shul. how would the shul like that? So I said, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Like, what are we talking about here? So he says, yeah, we got a lot of books. And I'm like, how much? Like, where can we put this? Like almost every art scroll book out there, many bookcases. So I was like, yeah, let me discuss with the board and see what they have to say. How are we going to arrange for this if it's a possibility? So we had a few board meetings to discuss how this would be possible even. We don't have so much room in the shul, and you're talking about a room plus of books, English and Hebrew. And the only way to really make this possible was to move a wall. We decided to make the coffee room a little smaller and get rid of the coat rooms. So this winter, we told everybody to leave their coats at home because there is no more court room. Anyway, so the bottom line is we decided to do the best idea would do some construction, our favorite word, but obviously funds are limited. So we approached Mr. David Schleifer and we asked him, would you be also willing to help out with some of the construction costs? So he said, I'll discuss with my mother. Got back to us, and they graciously accepted to cover all the costs of the construction and bringing of the books from Georgia. I can't begin to express how much this library has impacted our community and our shul. The library is currently up and running. You walk by it, we put in really bright lights. You see people there from young and old. The library is so vast. It has books for little kids. It has books for the older, more scholarly gentlemen. Has novels, stories, everything you can think of. Holocaust books, whatever you want. And I just see people just huddled in between the aisles, just grabbing stuff up. So I really, for one, appreciate that. On behalf of the Jewish community of Waterbury and on behalf of the entire Jewish Federation, I'd like to thank the Schleifer family for enriching our lives. I'd like to call up Mr. David Schleifer and thank him and his mother and his entire family for the wonderful difference they've made. Koya. Quick photo opportunity.
It's all about the pictures.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. And may God bestow upon us people of the whole entire Jewish community. Thank you.
I'm excited to be up here representing the less formal of us who don't wear jackets. When my dad passed away about a year ago now, we had a problem. We had somewhere between 3,500 and 5,000 books sitting in the house that needed a new home. And my mother's generosity, my wife's generosity of time, my family's willingness to pass this forward, and the shul's generosity in accepting this and creating space for this was wonderful. It strikes me that everybody's mentioned what's going on in Israel, and I just want to add a thought. My father was very into education and community, and redemption was a big theme of his. So one thing we speak a lot about all the things going on and how much support we need to, and how we need to pray for them and support them in many ways. But there's one thing that I think is very important to remember. My wife and I, last year, we were visiting our kid in Dallas, not in your high school, sorry, but you don't have our school yet, you don't have our kid's grade yet. And we walked in front of a Walmart, and there was the Federation in Dallas was selling sweatshirts, and I thought it was a theme that very much touched us. So we know all of our sweatshirts that say, "We will dance again." I think for when it happened, it was a day that we dance, and it's important to remember we'll dance again. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're okay here. It's now my honor to, I guess, bring up Lisa Rotman, the Greater Washington Coalition for Jewish Life, who will be honored and presented to by Rabbi James Green, who will be on video.
Good morning. My name is Rabbi James Green, and it is my privilege to introduce the Habonim Award recipient for the Greater Washington Coalition for Jewish Life, Lisa Rotman. My favorite pasuk in the Bible is from Psalm 118. Even ma'asu habonim haita la rosh pina. The stone that the builders initially rejected becomes the chief cornerstone. It is a reflection of the ways in which people at times shy away from the hard work of building, but those that lean into it can build something truly extraordinary. Lisa is truly a community builder. She leans into the work of community organizing and has, over the past few years, become a builder at the coalition. As our Shabbat chair, she organizes logistics and hosts for Shabbat meals and services, one of the core programs of our community. Last year, when the space for our Passover Seder was not available, she organized alongside others in our community to find a new place for this important tradition. She is someone who shows up to lead, and this year became a member of our board of directors. And we are lucky to have her in leadership. What is more powerful is not just that she leads, but how she leads. Lisa is joyful in community and always has a smile to share. The Federation's Habonim Award is designed to honor those in our community who reflect a commitment to strengthen their community. Lisa finds the opportunities to make cornerstones. She is a true builder, and we could not be more delighted to honor her in this special way. Mazal Tov and Siman Tov. It's a good fortune and a good sign. Mazal Tov to Lisa and Siman Tov to all of us. It is truly a good sign that we have such wonderful, committed leaders in our community. Thank you.
Please turn the lights on, Pam. Pam, you can tell how many followers you have by that loud round of applause.
Just give me a few clicks right here on this. Okay. Well, I want to thank the coalition very much for choosing me to be the honoree this year. And I also want to thank all the members that are here today to share the day with me. 2 years ago, which was 3 years after I moved to Connecticut from New York, I discovered the coalition through the Speaker Series program. And the Speaker Series is a monthly series of speakers that the coalition opens to the public online. And I was so impressed with this program, I needed to find out more about the sponsoring organization. And I looked into it and I learned all about the services and the programs the coalition offers. And I was so impressed that I became a member shortly thereafter. I have found the coalition community to be a group of warm and welcoming people, and it's really my honor and a privilege to do what I can to support the organization. So thank you again very much.
And as modest she is, she was just going to leave the gift here. So we're almost at the end where we'll be singing Oseh Shalom, and then we'll rise for Hatikva. I want to read you a text that I just got in the last hour or so from a woman named Achia, someone who everyone should know. I had the good fortune that Eric was persuasive in his argument/presentation that before I started working here, that I would spend a day when we were in Israel visiting the Afula region, which is the region that this federation and other federations in Connecticut help support. It was really an amazing day, a little frightening how close they live to the border with Jordan, where there are lots and lots of terrorists, though when a certain news organization went in there, they just showed pictures of all the greenhouses. They didn't say that in the greenhouses there were mortars and guns and rockets facing this area of northern Israel. So you might have heard in the news today, many rockets came in from Lebanon, affecting parts of the north that were not affected before, right? There's still 60,000 people who are homeless in Israel from the north. And she writes the following in her text. Shalom, everyone. Over the last few hours, Hezbollah has intensified its activity, launching rockets into areas that were previously quiet, including ours. We had a rough night, struggling to sleep amidst heavy interceptions and the sound of Air Force planes. All schools are closed today, and we are required not to gather and remain close to our homes and shelters. Thank you for your concern. We deeply appreciate your support and thoughts. We'll keep you updated, hoping for quieter days ahead. We can all say amen to that. So we are going to be led by Rachel, Albert, and Larry Smotroff in Oseh Shalom, a prayer that I think we all agree that at the end of the day, peace is something we all aspire to.
And please join in with us so we can all sing for peace.
Oseh Shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Please rise for Hatikvah.
Friends, for all of you mavens out there on music, anyone know how the first 5 notes of Hatikvah go? Anyone know the notes? If you're kind of a musician, it goes D, E, F natural, G, A, B flat, D, A, minor key, but always ascending. We Jews might be in a minor key sometimes, but we are always ascending. Hatikvah, words by Naftali Ingber. Maybe the music comes from Smetana's Bartered Bride. Someone said that, those first 5 notes. But we Jews are the truly Asurei Hatikvah, prisoners of hope. Maybe in a minor key, but ascending. Kol od balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ufate mizrach kadima ayin litzion Sophia Olo avda tikvatenu ha-tikva shnot alpayim liot am chofshi be'artzenu eretz Tzion Yerushalayim Liotam Chofshi Be'artzeinu Eretz Tzion Yerushalayim.
Yeshkoch, so that concludes our morning. No one is rushing, I'm not rushing to go back to Teaneck yet, so feel free to schmooze, to hang out a little bit, to eat a little more. You're also welcome to take some food home, and that's not being like schnorrish, like please help do that. And hopefully we'll find a place to give it to if there's too much food left over. Thank you for coming, and notice the honey straws on the table. Shana Tova to everybody. Happy New Year. Oh, good to see you. You had a nice crowd out here.
Yeah, nice.